Should you raise the prices in your print-on-demand store due to inflation? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're brand new here, hey, what's going on? My name's Kerry, I'm the founder of Shirt School, and I created this channel to bring you the best strategies, secrets, and hacks to grow your online t-shirt, apparel, or print-on-demand business. Today, we're gonna talk about inflation. And I'm sure you're aware of inflation and kind of what's been going on over the last year or longer. You know, gas prices have gone through the roof, electricity's up, utilities, home values and those kind of things. Seemingly everything that we buy and all of our bills have gone up in some way, shape, or form over the last however many months. And so it's created a conundrum if you are a business owner, because you have to sometimes make the very hard decision on whether you should raise your prices or leave them the same. You have to weigh things like, is this temporary? Is it going to go down? And maybe you shouldn't change your prices because you'll raise your prices and you'll have to lower them again, or whatever the case may be. But these are the things that you have to consider. So if you've been wondering if you should raise the prices in your t-shirt, apparel, or print-on-demand business, I believe the short answer is yes. And the thing you need to consider is, if your costs have gone up, you must raise the prices for your customers in order to keep healthy margins and to keep your business afloat. If you're printing your own apparel and your own items, a lot of times you have pretty large margins. You might have 75, 80% or more margins. If you're doing print on demand, those margins a lot of times are a lot less. I recommend having at least a margin of 50% or more. 50% is still pretty low, and I love to see it above 60 or 65%, even with print on demand. And if your supplier has raised costs, whether you are ordering your apparel in bulk or using print on demand, and your print on demand company has raised the pricing that you pay, I think in both cases you should heavily consider raising your prices and doing it fast. And especially speaking to those that are printing their own stuff, just because you have that big margin doesn't mean you should sacrifice it just because of inflation. Don't try to keep your prices low when inflation is really hurting you. And again, even if you have those large margins, just because you have large margins doesn't mean that you should lose money because your costs are going up. And I think raising the price of your products $1 or $2 is not going to make a difference in your sales. If you want to learn more about what we do here at Shirt School and learn about our unique Shirt School system that helps our students sell thousands of t-shirts, just go over to shirtschool.com and watch our free 60-minute masterclass where we break down every part of our system, why it works, and we give you an opportunity to check out Shirt School and how to get involved. So if you're needing help growing your online t-shirt or apparel business, go check that out at shirtschool.com. I think one of the reasons we have this idea in our head that maybe we shouldn't raise prices is because we have this idea of what products should cost, and usually it's related to maybe our childhood. I remember 20 years ago or so when I was a younger kid, a t-shirt costed $19 or $20. Even when I was a kid, I remember thinking, a t-shirt costs $20. And so naturally, as an adult, I seem to think the same thing. I think a t-shirt should just cost $20. I think it's the same thing when you think about a bottle of Coke. It should probably be 99 cents. A gallon of milk should be $2.30. You think about these things that maybe, the pricing was like that when you were much younger, and that price sticks in your head. You think that that product should always cost that amount. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. Prices go up. And if you weren't aware about inflation, even in years that are just normal, inflation always is about 1 or 2%, which means that every year prices rise at least 1 to 2% on average, even if you're not super aware of it. And actually, inflation in small doses is somewhat healthy. So if you were to go right now and change the prices on your online store and raise the prices, chances are no one would even notice. I know that it's easy to think everyone will be mad, my customers may not buy from me again, but the truth is probably no one will notice. I've changed pricing on my stores a ton of times and no one's ever said a word. And in most cases, unless you're running a massive multi-million-dollar business, You don't need to send an email newsletter out. You don't need to notify your community that prices are going up, because it's likely that no one will even notice or even care. And in most cases, raising your pricing will not cause your sales to go down. Psychologically, there's not much difference between, say, $21 and $29. Even though that feels like a big jump to us, it's not in the heads of most consumers. So in conclusion, I definitely think that you should raise your pricing due to the crazy inflation we've seen recently. And most print-on-demand providers and most companies that sell wholesale, they've had to raise their pricing too. And that probably comes from just the cost of materials to make the apparel that we're selling going up, things like cotton and things that we use to make the apparel. So the prices have gone up for you as a seller. If they have, I definitely think that you should raise your prices right now. If you enjoyed this video today, hit that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. We put out new videos every single week, and hitting the bell icon will make sure you get notified when those videos go live. See you soon.